slow march towards the CM base, and the question becomes, can CM do anything about it? So far, nothing going, as Zig's actually taking a lot of damage in that mid lane as the push continues. There's Detonation FM members in the top lane, in the mid lane. Looks like all 5 might rotate over and try to do something to this top turret. And they're doing a lot of damage to Solfa over the wall, which is going to make him have to back away. Some pretty good clear coming out from Hafu on Graves, but right now, Detonation FM knocking on that base door.
Yeah, they are not letting up the pressure on the lanes at all. You can see they are just rotating up at the top lane and going down back to the middle lane, just juking really CM, the entire team. They don't know where to go right now. They know that DTFM is not going to let up on this pressure, and they are going to go wherever the lane is pushing. So you see the top lane now has a couple of linears, so they are going Uniproid going in really strong on this now.
Yeah, actually that was CM going up pretty hard on Uniproid as well. Asteroid's passive is going to be popped. It was a pretty decent ultimate coming out of Real. The question is now, CM taking a lot of damage, and they did get Aatrox's passive down, and Real Silva actually looking pretty low as well. So no deaths going in either team. The fact that they were able to pick up Aatrox's passive is really big if they're going to force a fight. They have to do it soon now. I don't know. I didn't see how that started. It looked like they went in pretty hard on Uniproid. It was Solfa and Silverspoon. They've been doing that all game. They really do not like Uniproid and his Riven. Unfortunately for them, it tends to keep going in favor of Riven.
Yeah, this is not going very well for Jax or Vi, because if you have 2 members, you have your 2 tankiest members, Vi and Jax, going in on 1 Riven and not even taking him down. That is not a good sign at all. But look at this, the Baron is going down so fast, and the only person there is Real Silver. Can DTFM come in to steal away the Baron? Nope, blue team, CM does get away the first Baron of the game.
That was a really good move by CM. It's going to help put them back into this game. There weren't any wards by Detonation FM there, and Aatrox just wasn't in the area, so he was unable to go contest it with a smite.
No, there were wards there, but the point is that they didn't expect CM to get out of their base and to run all the way to Baron and sneak out this first Baron of the game. It's a very smart move. It was not a move that DTFM or either of us could have expected coming from CM. It's a very ballsy play, and it's paid off for them. The goal lead has dwindled down a little bit more, so now it's about a 6,000 goal lead for DTFM. So CM has come back with something of an answer, but let's see how they're going to push this with the Baron buff they have.
Yeah, and so that was actually CM again rushing out of their base. It looked like a 5-man death squad. Unfortunately, stepping on that Caitlyn trap means, well, it was not a sneaky 5-man death squad. As Detonation FM sees that, they back out of the jungle and get away, as both teams now just kind of regrouping. CM, if they want to try and make something happen, they've got to do it right now while that Baron buff is active. If you take a look, however, across at builds everywhere, Jax finally has that Triforce. He completed that a while ago. He's looking to build into the Randuins now. A lot of actually attack damage coming out from Riven, from Caitlyn, who also has her Bloodthirster, Phantom Dancer, and Last Whisper completed now. 275 farm means even if you're sitting at 0-3, you can afford a few of the finer things in life.
Yeah, I mean, and you see what CM does. They go on a 5-man squad going out. That is not a good move either, because you can have Riven just split pushing the entire way through, and you need 2 or 3 members to actually put down a Riven. So having 5 men going out all at once is not a very good move unless it's for Baron, which they already have. And they look like they want to go on to Real Silva, but they're not fast enough.
Yeah, chasing pretty hard there, but Solfa got caught by the 90 caliber net, and just gonna have to back away. Solfa, however, continuing. The medallion is popped. Gonna actually get slashed. Gonna make him go very far underneath the turret, and Solfa is tanking the turret for the entirety of that fight. This is not surely going to go well for Team CM as they are fighting under the turret. Amity will pick up Bonzen. Silverspoon still at full health. He's going to now actually try and pick up the turret. He does pick up the turret, but Uniproid wasn't even in that fight. He has now showed up. He picks up a kill. It's going to be a double kill for Uniproid, and there is absolutely no way Silverspoon's going to be able to get out of this with an Aatrox and a Soraka calling stars down upon his face. And Hofu's the only one who gets out of that, and that's because he turned and ran away as soon as he could.
Yeah, I mean, I don't think Sofa really understood what happened there, because he tried to go in on Sarah and on Real Silver, I'm sorry. Real Silver, she flashed out inside of the turret, like way into his lane of the turret, and the battery assault was already used on him, and so he followed him all the way through over there, and the entire team actually collapsed onto DTFM as well. They should have just let Sulfur die and not push in that hard, and Sulfur actually didn't die, he died to the turret. It was just a very messy fight coming out from CM right there just now.
Yeah, I don't know if it's just because at 30 minutes you don't expect that first tier middle turret to still be there or what happened, but they were fighting like it wasn't there, and yeah, that took at least half, if not more, of Sulfur's health bar. He did not get out of turret range the entire time, so it makes it pretty easy for Detonation FM. They didn't have to do any work for basically a free kill there. And you talked about CM picking up that Baron buff, and that kind of helping them maybe get back into this game. Well, now there's only one member of CM with that Baron buff, and it's kind of a moot point.
Okay, well, let's look at it this way. They had a crazy, really dumb fight, to be honest with you. But silver lining is still have. They had their first, they had all three outer turrets down, so they finally have that middle turret down for their team, and so yeah, they lost for the Baron buffs, but hey, you got something out of it at least, so you know, they might be crying, but at least they'll be crying with a little bit of hope in their mind as well. Very mean way of saying it, but Nami's actually dancing, so yeah, I think the only silver lining that CM has right now is going to be Graves. He has not died the entire game. He's on 4-0-2. And he doesn't want to shut down for himself as well, because if he gets a shutdown goal to, say, Riven, it's not going to be very, very good for CM.
Yeah, so I don't know. I feel like we had a lot of action going on in the early game of this one, and now it's kind of backed up a little bit. As we do, you can see the Baron buff will be up in another 2 minutes. It'll be interesting to see if CM tries to maybe pull another ballsy play and get up and do that. But in the meantime, they're just trying to keep these lanes as pushed as they can. Randuin's now finally being completed on Jax, but still sitting at 142 with 199, 200 farm, and only 2 items completed. He's going to have a real time competing with that Riven.
Yeah, and DTFM is having a problem that they have with a lot of the seasons and all the games. They don't know how to finish games. They don't know how to push to win. You can see they have been hovering around this outer side of the base for the last 10 minutes already. They gave up a Baron, and now the kills are 9-9. They don't know how to finish out games. And if you give Jax enough time, but there's a fight going on.
Yeah, there's a really you talked about no engage, and Astrore engaged that fight straight up diving in, and it actually cost them a kill, as Real Silva's going to go down. A nice tidal wave coming out of Nami, a nice Mega Inferno Bomb is going to land as well. So again, you just talked about it. Detonation FM, do they know when to engage? Do they know how to end a game? Right there, that was Astrore going in pretty deep. There is no turret in the mid lane right now, so that inhibitor is open. Had they been able to pick up a kill or two, it would have been an inhibitor, would have helped them push even closer to finishing this game out. Instead, it just looked like bad communication. Astrore jumping in, nobody following him, and it ends with Real Silva's death.
Yeah, I think what's happening with DHFM now is that they're a little bit desperate. They're like, let's just go and let's just engage. I think we can win and engage, and they did not win the engagement. I said this before at the start of the game that this is a time limit game. If DTFM doesn't win this game early, it's going to be really hard for them. As you can already tell, Jax is slowly but surely coming back as a very strong top laner. And if you give him enough time and enough space, he will become that split pushing monster. And if you just give Jax say 5-10 minutes more, he is going to split push the hell out of DTFM. And you can already tell Saras is not providing as much as he could before in this game right now. And DTFM needs to finish out this game, or they're going to have a very, very, very tough late game coming in.
Yeah, and it looks like we might get our next fight here around this Baron buff. Detonation FM maybe trying to bait it. They're going to hide in this bush, and Amity, you don't want to head into that bush. Good check with those bombs. The question is now, can Real Silva make something happen? Gonna flash to actually keep the snare in range. The snare will land. Will they be able to catch up to Amity? He's actually gonna use his Mega Inferno Bomb, which is a really good move because it means a lot of damage goes down, even if he himself goes down as well. Here's Silver Spoon in the middle of everything. A real good job. Here comes Solfa into the fight as well. Boneson on his own with only Saros to protect him, and Soraka is not my idea of a tank protector unit. So that's gonna be dead Bonzen. Saros going to be going down here. However, here comes Udiproid. Udiproid at full health. The question is, will he be able to finish off? And look at Hafu. Look at the damage coming out of Graves here. It's only Aatrox left. It's a 4-for-2 trade, and it's not necessarily over yet. Asteroid's going to have to run away because he cannot deal with either of these champions right now. So actually, a really, really good fight here coming out from CM.
Yeah, like I said before, I don't think the TFM knows how to finish out the game. They have dragged out this game as long as they could, and it's just not doing anything for them right now. Look at them. Jax and Graves are now pushing into the middle inner turret, and they have taken it down. So the late game Jax is in play right now, and it's going to be very, very dangerous for DTFM. They have lost 2 consecutive engagements, and the return of CM started with that Baron buff.
Yeah.
And they have not stopped since then, and this looks very, very good for CM at the moment. The goal difference is slowly dwindling down. Now it's only a 7,000 goal. It was at 10,000 before, and if DTFM doesn't come up with something special, let's say a Sorore or Udiproid just split pushing or catching someone off like they did with Ziggs, they are going to potentially lose the game.
All right, well,
As
here
we
goes
see CM going for the
exactly
second
what they
Baron of
did
the
last
game.
time. Run straight at Baron and face him head on. The question is, will Detonation FM be able to get there in time? Baron going down very low. And again, Asurore not anywhere close to this fight. He's not going to be able to come in and smite this. The question is, will Detonation FM be able to force them off this? Udiproid going in very deep. That's going to be a free kill onto Rail, who gets separated from the rest of the team. Will Detonation FM be able to close this out now? They're going to have to try, as Udiproid doing a ton of damage. This time coming out, Amity's going to go down to the ultimate. Soulful's going to go down. Silver Spoon now, he's in a 1v5 situation. Surely he can outwin this. He's going to go down 4-for-0 now. And that was very, very...
Yeah, like I said, they need to catch someone out and not go into a 5v5 engagement, and they did. They did catch Ziggs out with a very good catching out because it was only a 1v1, so it doesn't mean that the entire team is under pressure. And with Ziggs down, they can actually go in and attack everyone else. So it's a 4-for-0, and they are in the Nexus right now. They're in the base, they're attacking the Nexus turrets, and this might be game for DETFM. A wonderful comeback for them.
That was Hafu doing his best to save his base. That was actually his first death of the game, but it will be in vain, as that will be the game going to Detonation FM. So, first game here for Season 2 of the Japanese Premier League will go to Detonation FM versus Crucial Moment. So congratulations over to Detonation FM. Wow.
Yeah, so if they win their next 2 games of today, they will be going into the second round. But this looks like a very good start for them. It looks very, very I'm gonna be honest with you. It's very shaky for them. If CM took down the Baron just now, it might be game over for DETFM. But fortunately, they did catch them out. They did catch Ziggs out, and that was their saving grace, to be honest with you. And a very shaky start for DETFM, but a win nonetheless.
Yeah, I'm not sure. I liked, again, their CM's decision to kind of go in pretty hard and try and pick that Baron. But then they decided they were going to turn around and fight instead. So, I don't know. They got caught between a rock and a hard place, and it just went very, very poorly. I don't know if that wasn't even really Detonation FM playing a super clean team fight so much as CM just played it really poorly there, I think. And Nami got caught out right away before she was able to do anything in the fight and peel for her team. And then everybody just kind of kept dying. So, that was game 1. We will be bringing you game 2 pretty shortly here. Just going to make sure I can find it and we can get in. And we'll be ready to go pretty quick.
Yeah, I'm actually in the second game, or on the lobby of the second game already. I think we have one team already in to the lobby. We're just waiting for the other team coming in. But that was a good game coming out from Crucial Moment. I think they did show, that they can fight with the top tier team like Detonation FM. Unfortunately, they couldn't close out the game. They got pressured way too early on. They did have a glimpse of might be able to win this, but they lost it at the Baron, which is always a thing, right? I mean, people lose Barons all the time. When you want to go for Barons, a big risk. It's either you win big or you lose really, really big. And unfortunately for CM, it was a show of hand, and they did not come up with anything right there.
Yeah, so that's unfortunate. I think we saw some good things from CM, and I think I'd like to see them play again. I hope they continue to improve. I think definitely we're seeing the talent pool in terms of just the Japanese players is really starting to ramp up as League becomes more and more popular here in Japan. And if you think back, I don't know if any of you have been following us we've been doing this for almost a year now. And for those of you following the JCG League, we didn't have that kind of skill level last year. So it was fun to watch, even if ultimately they kind of fell on their face.
Yeah, no, I think it's really good to see, different teams coming up. And I love seeing new teams, it's always nice to see them coming up and just showing the old timers, what new players can do. And yeah, we've been doing I think we're doing this for 8 months maybe.
Yeah, that's
September,
long enough.
Yeah, long enough.
The LOL old timers. I'm just like picturing Detonation FM. Get off of all Rift, you kids.
Yeah. In actual fact, they're all younger than us, but
I know, right?
I know. Okay. Okay, you can continue talking. I'm just gonna confirm with a couple teams and stats happening.
All right. Well, again, thanks for tuning in with us this evening, everybody. It's great to have you here. This is JCG. That's Japan Competitive Gaming, and this is our Premier League, which is the top level of League of Legends here in Japan. We just got a nice look at Crucial Moment facing off against Detonation FM, and we're going to be bringing you Game 2 here very, very shortly. I should point out it is group play this week, so there's no best of 3 series, there's no best of 2. It's just one game versus a team, then you go and you play another team. And so for Game 2, we're actually going to take a look at two completely I want to say completely different because they are two different teams, but one of them will be from the Detonation FM organization. It's their second team, Rabbit 5, going to be going up against, I think it's pen name Serendipity. So should be another good match. Should be another good match here. This is another team. Both of these are kind of new. Detonation Rabbit 5, we've seen a little bit of simply because they are affiliated with the Detonation name and organization. However, on the flip side, I could not tell you a whole lot about pen name Serendipity. I can tell you that one of the players, Kuroa, is somebody I know fairly well. He was actually a very, very high-level StarCraft player, and he might actually be the top StarCraft player in Japan. Decided one day, hey, I want to try League. It looks like everybody's playing League these days, and it looks fun.
Oh, Kuroa?
Yeah.
Yeah,
and he's made the transition very well. He's a very, very strong mid laner. He plays a lot of Akali in solo queue and does very well with her as well. So it'll be very interesting to see what he comes out and. Yeah, it's just a lot of new faces, all in all, which is always really fun at the start of these seasons to see these new teams, these new players. It's almost like a rotating door. As soon as one team disappears or disbands, a new team will instantly pop up and form to take its place. Because the scene here in Japan is not like to the level yet of something you think about, like even the LPL, or of course Korea has OGN, and Japan is kind of still taking its baby steps. It's very hard to have a consistent set of teams competing at that top level, and we're starting to get those teams. You see that from teams like Detonation FM or Rascal Jester or Ozone Rampage, who's actually sponsored by Ozone, who has league teams all over the world. So it's nice that we're getting to this point. However, it's always fun to see these new teams come in. I'm just laughing because we're getting ready to jump into the picks and bans for the next game. We have all of one team here, and we're missing everybody.
Yeah, I'm trying to see if they actually know about the room name.
Yeah. Hey guys, remember you have a game to play tonight.
I know.
Yeah. So we are playing on the NA server. There is no Japan server yet. That should hopefully be coming at some point in time soon down the road. Well, it is coming. The only question left is when. But for the time being, all of the stuff we really usually play on the NA server ping anywhere from about 100 to 160, depending on the day, the connection, all of those various little factors. Also, because we are playing on the NA server, this is patch 4.5, so it has summoner spell changes. It has a few of the champions got changed around, and of course, my favorite thing, I won't shut up about it, Feral Flare is also in existence in this patch, and we saw Aatrox build it last game. Didn't really do a whole lot with it, to be honest, but yeah, we'll see.
Yeah, Japan server will be coming out the last quarter of the year or early next year because Riot Japan has officially started. So
Woo!
that is very, very exciting. But, obviously it's not being released yet because they will not do that anytime soon. But, Japan server is going to be coming. So I guess that's an awesome news for the Japanese players and for us who are living in Japan. Yeah, I'm sorry. I'm trying to locate DTFR right now.
It's just funny because the stream lags behind, and I was looking over at the chat, and somebody's asking, is there any reason or source that you're so sure Japan server is coming? Well, you were talking about the fact that Riot is here now.
Oh yeah.
So, but yeah, Riot is in Japan. There is a Riot Japan very, very early on in that process, but the Japan server will be coming, so should be a good time. But again, like I said, we'll be looking at our next match coming up very, very shortly here. Just waiting for the teams to all gather. We're trying to stay on schedule. We're a couple minutes behind, but that's okay as long as we get to play.
Yeah, I'm just gonna get them to speed it up a little bit.
Yeah, it looks like we're getting people in here now, so thanks for joining us. It's it's 9:15 here in Japan for those of you not living in Japan. But yeah, so this is how we're enjoying our Saturday night. Yeah, getting a little bit of League of Legends. I'll be honest, it's
Link to source. I've been talking to the Riot Japan's country manager, so that's good enough source for you. But nothing is confirmed in terms of when the server will start. But Riot Japan has been started. They have their core members already sort of put together, and so we're just waiting for everything to get going. But second game is going to start really soon, and it's going to be Detonation RF, which is the sister team of Detonation FM, and the new team PNS.
I'm sorry.
Which is pen name
Serendipity. Pen name Serendipity. It's a very
Japan, right? Go figure.
Yeah, it's a very flowery, kind of beautiful name. We'll have to see if they play in a very flowery, beautiful way.
Maybe they'll have Zyra.
Oh, are there any champions that I suppose not. I was trying to think like an author, so pen name Serendipity could play an author, and I like Rise, but he's a wizard, like he's a mage, and he writes stuff in his spell book. But that would probably be a pretty lame champion though. Like Q, the pen is mightier than the sword. Like throws a bottle of ink at all enemies and they're blind for a second.
Blind for them, yeah. That would be funny. No, it'd be like suffer under the power of knowledge.
Yeah.
Right?
I don't know. Like I guess there's Heimer and his genius, but ultimate Dewey Decimal System. Do damage based categorically on each opponent's remaining health, and I don't know. That would be a terrible champion.
I think like for animation that would be really boring.
I know. I'm just like, oh man, there's so many stupid things you could do with that. Like,
okay, we're waiting on 2 more players from GET RF to come in. We have Keyboard Fighter, Awaker, and Estelle Lin inside, but we're still waiting on 2 more players.
Oh boy, it's one of those nights, isn't it?
It is. It's a Saturday night, so.
Saturday night. Oh hey, and so now we're only missing 1 player.
Yeah, I think it's Magia. Nope, I don't know. I don't know who is a starting member for them. They have been changing and
Yeah, actually, I was reading
so
that they keep
much.
changing all their players, and
No one knows what's going on with their team. If you're not familiar with the Japanese scene, ladies and gentlemen, there are a couple of main teams in Japan. Mainly, right now, the top team would be RJ, Resco Jester, and then following behind will be Ozone Rampage, GTFM, and who would be the last one? The former Okinawa Tigers. Probably.
yeah, when they come back and do their team again. So, but I think we just about have all the members here, which means we're going to be able to jump into picks and bans very, very shortly. I'm ready. You're ready. Question is, are the players ready? Excuse me. So we're going to get this game underway for you right here. It's going to be Detonation Rabbit 5 facing off against pen name Serendipity.
We're going to get water. A drink of water. Okay, we are
this
going
one doesn't have the camera either. Man, I'm stupid.
I'm not saying nothing to that. No, I'm just kidding. You're a very smart person. But we are going to Champion Select. On the blue side, we do have pen name Serendipity, and the purple side, we do have Destination RF.
And that first ban, Vi, pretty good choice. Especially after watching the last game. That was kind of one of the high points for a crucial moment. And it's just Vi brings so much to the table. She's going to continue to be picked until, well, that's as
Japans get bored of her. But Vi is very, very famous in Japan. She's very, very fun to play for a lot of Japanese players. And if you're in Japan, just last week, a couple of my friends from Riot was in town. And the main designer for Vi and Jinx was in town, so it's very nice to meet this guy. His name is August, and he's the main hit designer for both Vi and Jinx, so it's very fun to kind of talk to him about, what the inspirations for Vi and Jinx are.
All right, and we look at
Did you actually get to meet him?
No, I did not.
Very cool guy, but yeah.
Like I said, I think I walked by him, actually. I think they were going to esports as I was leaving the cafe. But
Okay.
Oh well, you can't win them all. As we do see all the bands coming out, it will be Vi, Pantheon, and Lulu from pen name Serendipity, and it'll be Ziggs, Thresh, and Soraka being banned out by Rabbit 5. And that first pick locked in will be Leona.
Yeah, I'm really surprised to see the Soraka ban. I don't know, like I said, Japanese players love to play the Soraka, and Soraka is actually banned out of this, and Pantheon is a very standard ban in terms of just, he's a very, very strong, presence in the jungle, even in the early, mid, or late game. And so first pick is going to be Leona. It's a very safe pick, like I said. She can be completely countered with a Morgana, so maybe they want to just go ahead and pick out the counter for the support instead of choosing a carry, but they look like they're going to hover over a Caitlyn. So nothing too different from what the previous game we've seen. And here we go. It's a Bloody Mermaid coming out again. It might be the Nami that's going to be locked.
Your favorite champion.
I have no idea. Like, in terms of just the history for Nami, in terms of win-loss ratio, she hasn't won a single game in the Japanese games.
Mm-hmm. Well, one thing to notice, earlier pen name Serendipity hovered over Kha'Zix for a little bit before locking in that Leona. So Kha'Zix is still available and a very, very terrifying jungler at the moment. It'll be interesting to see if that's who they decide to pick up here, or if it maybe will be a Lee Sin, who is also kind of one of those ever-present junglers. I don't know if he's ever going to fall out of favor just because of the utility he brings to your team. So, or
Yeah,
maybe not to your team so much as he's utility in and of himself and a lot of fun to play.
Yeah, and everybody's been saying this, and obviously everybody agrees with it. Lee Sin has no skill cap. He can be played in numerous ways. If you are mechanically really skilled, it's going to be crazy. He's gonna be so good, and they are going to go with the Jinx Leona, and I really, really like that because that combination is a kill lane basically. They can. It's going to be very pressured for Estelle Lim and Keyboard Fighter in the bot lane because you can lock them down so easily. You have the Chompers and you have the Zenith Blade. It's going to be a little bit scary for DT RF.
Yeah, it's a really fun lane to play, especially because it makes those Chompers so much easier to hit. Easy to throw them on a non-moving target when Leona's got them already locked up.
I'm surprised they're picking Nami into a Leona. That's not a good counter pick at all. It's just not a good pick for them, but they look like they are hovering over Yorick. I'm very excited.
Yeah, it's been a while since we've seen him.
We've seen a lot of Trundle in the top lane, but not Yorick as of yet.
And Yorick, honestly, you know, he went through a phase a while back where we saw a lot of him, and he hasn't changed a whole lot. He's still very, very strong.
Look at that! They are going to try and zone in a little bit on Darian's Warwick, and so it will be Warwick in the top lane, I'm pretty sure. And so, yeah.
Well, if he's in the top lane, where's Yorick going?
Yorick might be.
So Yorick. We'll see.
I don't know. Maybe they're gonna switch it up, but I want to see Warwick up top lane.
I would guess we'll probably see the Warwick in the jungle, only because he's another one of the champions that does really well with the Feral Flare.
Yeah, it's true.
And his ultimate, every proc or every tick applies the Feral Flare. Blah, blah, blah. I cannot say that word tonight. But his ultimate applies the Feral Flare as well, which is really, really nice. Meanwhile, we're seeing a Yasuo. Yasuo's not banned, and Rumble being hovered over here, so...
Yeah, but it might be the Rise.
Bye, Rumble.
I love Rise.
The return of Rise. We've seen a lot of him.
We have seen a lot of
recently.
Rise ever since I Am Katowice, when the Korean team brought out Rise, and it was just a decimation for the European teams and the Chinese teams. It's so hard to play against a Rise late game, and you can see with their lineup for pen name Serendipity, you cannot wait until late game like the previous game as well. Rise was going to be a monster late game. Yasuo is going to be a monster late game, and so you don't want to fight this team when it comes to late game. And so for DET, they have to push to win early on. You have that poke team, you have Nidalee, and you have Caitlyn. It's a complete poke composition, and so they have to pick and poke and make sure they poke down the opposition team before they go into fights, because if they don't do that, they're going to have a tough time going to those 5v5 team fights.
Yeah, and of course, that Rise is always a ticking time bomb. So that, along with the Jinx, you're going to be real strong the longer you give them a chance to do that. Boy, it's going to be very interesting to see what comes out of this game as well. I'm going to actually pop those off here so you can see it will be a jungle Warwick. So that should be a little bit fun coming out of a Waker there.
It's Warwick, by the way.
Yeah.
It's been confirmed by the EU LCS caster. It is Warwick. It's not Warwick.
Is it Warwick?
Yep. Because the EU LCS casters has called it that, and it is what it is. It is.
No, I refuse to believe you. There's an R in his name.
I know, right? You are an English teacher, but apparently the EU casters have been named it Warwick, and for me it will be Warwick. But
that's because you talk funny.
I swear to God, you can ask the people on chat. If you guys watch the LCS, you would know that I used to call him Warwick too. But after everyone started calling him Warwick, I'm like, okay, we'll go with Warwick because the cast.
No, because then.
But I love seeing Warwick because of the main fact that Darian from Gambit Gaming loves to play him in the top lane. He has even gotten him a couple of bans for that, and so I'm very excited to see how a Waker can actually play Warwick in this game.
So see, there's the problem. It's because in British English you don't, apparently. But you don't leave out letters like that. Come on, guys.
I didn't.
That's discrimination. If you say one W, you should give both W's equal pronunciation time.
I know, right? But it's not my decision to make.
Oh man, you're killing me.
Okay, but we are going to go into game really soon. We have 1 minute time down on this.
Tick,
Like
tick,
I said
tick,
before,
tick.
I would give this a DT RF if they can play the put game really well and they try to end this game before the 30-minute marker. But if they do let it drag out, this is definitely going to be a PNS pen name Serendipity's game for sure. I
Yeah.
wouldn't say for sure, but I would be putting my money on it for sure. What about you?
I don't know. I'm very interested. I'm really excited to watch Kuroa play. I know I shouldn't be like soloing out these players, but every time I watch him play in solo queue, it's a very, very aggressive, like super aggressive mid lane play style. And you kind of have to when you play a Kali, but you kind of get the same thing when you get to play this Yasuo, which has actually been a character that's been banned a lot in the Japanese League of Legends scene. So we have not seen a lot of him because nobody ever gets to play him.
Yeah,
Um,
I'm really surprised they actually let Yasuo through. I don't know if Kuroa actually plays a lot of Yasuo, but it's not easy to play him, especially if you look at this lineup. There is only one knockup that can come out. It's going to be the ultimate, the kick from Lee Sin, that actually has displacement.
yeah, so that's, a little unfortunate, but
You might want to change the screen.
yeah, we could probably do that. I was thinking of it, and then I was like, should we? Should we not?
I don't know if I
But
want to look at a black screen.
I'm gonna show our faces. You can say hello to us really quickly because we're loading the game up here, and as soon as that pops, we'll jump in there as well.
Yeah.
I was gonna drink some water, and now I'm embarrassed to do it on screen. But I've said it, so I'm gonna do it.
You're embarrassed to drink
Talk for me.
water.
Talk for me, Ferlin.
Yeah, this is JCG Japanese Premier League Season 2 Day 1. It is a group league, and we are going to Game 2 of the day. There are a couple of games being played today, but there is a Japanese stream, and we are on the English stream, obviously. And so we
What?
just played our first game, and the first game was given to DET FM, and in the second game, we are streaming their sister team, DET Destination RF, and they're playing against this new Master League team that has gone up to the Premier League, and it's going to be pen name Serendipity.
All right, and we should probably explain because I just saw this pop up in chat. There's a season 2 question mark. JCG basically does 4 seasons each year to kind of match up with the seasons, I guess.
No, it's just
is it?
it's just the way they want to make it.
Okay.
But yeah.
Oh wait, because yeah, it's Anyway, we're in game. You can explain that better than I can.
I think it's just basically it's just like 4 different seasons, and we are going to go into a break after this season 2, so there won't be any games in May, because you have to take a break, and so we'll restart the JCG Premier League and the Master League in June. Because JCG is going to be broadcasting the All-Star Games in Japanese, so that's going to be very exciting. It's going to be 4 days of League of Legends in Japanese. Obviously, we're not going to be broadcasting it from Paris itself, but we'll be doing it in studio with our in-studio casters, our Japanese casters. I won't be on stream on the 4 days because I will be flying
Actually,
to
be in Paris.
Paris.
Woo!
I will be going to All Stars. I'm going to see all my old friends, my friends from Korea, from China, from EU, from NA. So it's going to be very exciting to see all of these people again. I'm going to see shops again.
I thought you were just gonna eat the whole time.
I'm going to be eating for sure. I'm going to be eating a lot of French freaking food, the bread, French wine. It's going to be very exciting. I have a lot of friends that I haven't seen in a while, and so All Stars is going to be pretty exciting, yeah.
Yeah, I'm a little jealous, but I'll be here watching it from home, and it will be a good time.
You know, Ryan actually asked me the other day, he's like, what about Corey?
Yeah.
What about him?
Oh man, I wish. I
Yeah.
don't have that kind of money. And when it's not your job, it's hard. I
Yeah.
got to teach them children, you know.
I know.
If I don't, they'll never learn English, and and then we'll all be in trouble. Honestly, I don't. Yeah, we'll see if they learn English even with me there, but that's a different story. So,
Yeah, no, but it's gonna be very exciting. We're gonna be broadcasting the All Stars in Japanese, and so if you're in Japan or if you're Japanese, and if you want to learn Japanese, you can actually watch the JCG All Stars. It's gonna be on a crazy time. Apparently, the Japanese time start is 5 a.m. and then 7 a.m.
But if you're not in Japan and you want to watch it in Japanese, you'll probably be awake.
That's true. The game has been paused. Just a couple of players have been dropped out of the game, but they are reconnecting it back in. So hopefully we can get that sorted out really quickly. I'm still trying to see if there's any chat going on and what is happening.
Yeah, so they're just paused. It's not a super long loading screen, and we actually are gonna jump back into game, get it started. So I should probably put that up on the stream. And here we go.
The Twitch guy just said, I'm actually part Portuguese, and my grandma was from Portugal, and so she actually had a vineyard growing up. So my family has drank a lot of wine growing up. So I'm very excited to go to France and have good French wine. I mean, I haven't been to Paris in I think 2 years. So it's nice to go back to the city. It's a very romantic city. But we are going to Game 2 of the JCG, the Japan Competitive Gaming Premier League Season 2, Day 1. This is Game 2 of the day. It is going to be pen name serendipity on the blue side. On the purple side, it will be DETRF.
And here's ZachO ADC getting caught out. He's going to be Rise, Rune Prison. He's going to be caught out by Leona as well. They won't pick up a kill, but they do pick up a flash and a heal, both. Summoner Spell is now going to be down in that bottom lane for ZachO ADC from Detonation Rabbit 5. So again, we're seeing these blue buff invades. The question is, will they stick around or will they back away? Looks like Monster Parent will be running back to base. He does have the teleport, but there's no reason for him to really stick around. They will be able to probably steal this blue buff, no problem. As we actually see Yorick now headed into the bot lane, and it looks like it will be a 2v1 situation, which makes sense because Rise is one of those champions that does very, very poorly in 2v1 situations.
Yeah, that would be a very good lane swap for them, and I think they know about this, so I don't know if the bot lane of Pen Name Serendipity wants to go up there, but it looks like they're not going to do that and just going to go protect both sides with their buffs. And nothing exciting is going to be happening, really.
Yep, so it'll be red buff starts for both of these junglers. And, yeah, other than the lane swaps, we're not going to see anything real exciting. It's going to be very, very sad. Actually, Monster Parrot does not know that they're both up here. He's going to get caught out being slowed by Nami. The question is, will they be able to do enough damage? They're chasing him down. They're just going to make him run out of lane. But he's already sitting at a very, very low health bar. And it's the same story here in the bottom lane. No damage coming out, but Yorick cannot get anywhere close to that farm.
Yeah, I mean, it's kind of, you know, always the case in terms of, oh!
Speaking of damage, oh my goodness. That's exactly what I was talking about, that aggressive playstyle coming out of Kuroa in the mid lane. And in the jungle, it's going to be Warwick versus Lee Sin, and the lifesteal is just too strong out of Awaker here on Warwick. Apple 3 Law not going to be able to do much here. Monster Parent is going to come and force them away from this blue buff, so the blue buff will go over. PNS is going to be able to hold on to that for Apple 3 Law. So, however, it's going to be Kuroa meeting Awaker in the river. And red buff, you can see ticking off, doing a little bit of damage.
This is a very, very chaotic level 1, level 2. People getting caught left and right. No one really knows what's happening, what's going on. Getting damaged left and right. This is very, very just chaotic all the way. I've seen somebody on Twitch say, you know, Darian played a couple of times in the LCS. Yes, I'm so happy that some of you guys actually watched the EU LCS. Darian has played Warwick in the LCS in the top lane. He has got bans out of it as well, so I'm very excited to see how Waker will perform on this Warwick in this second game of our day.
Yeah, so in both of these 2v1 lanes, both of the solo laners being pressured pretty hard. I think Monster Parent is probably taking the worst end of this deal. There's just so much range coming out of Caitlyn, and Ryze is such a short-range champion to begin with. All of his spells on a very, very short range.
Oh yeah, you gotta change your champion order.
Oh yeah, I should probably do that as well, because Nidalee is not in the top lane, no matter what you believe.
Yeah, but like I said, this game has a huge time limit on it, and DET needs to end this game, finish this game early before the 30-minute marker, so they don't have to play against a late game Yasuo and a late game Rise. But as of now, looks like PNS actually has a 200 goal lead, or 100 goal lead. Oh yeah, 200 goal lead. And Rise is actually not doing so bad for himself. He has 9 CS, so
it's more than Yorick 7.
Yeah, it's not, it is more than Yorick 7.
But you can actually see both of these lanes obviously being pushed very, very hard. Both junglers were making motions like they might do something, and Apple3Lal made a move towards that top lane, and now we do have a Waker coming into this bot lane to try and keep that turret alive just a little bit longer. But it's going to be really hard. That's what happens when you have these 2 versus 1 lanes. The junglers have to come help these lanes out, or you get situations like has been happening in Korean OGN where both lanes will lose 2 turrets in the first 5 minutes. And
yeah, but this is also the patch where the top and bottom turrets are on a stronger defensive mode. So before the 8-minute mark, it's a lot more stronger than it was before. And so we don't see it going down as early, but at the same time, it is a 2v1, and you almost have to expect them to push down the turrets a lot faster than before. Jinx actually taking a lot of poke from Yorick.
Yeah, but on the flip side of that, we actually saw a Waker taking a lot of damage trying to help that lane out. As we now see the damage coming up from Zeka ADC. That's going to be the bot turret, so the first turret of the game going to go over to PNS. They're going to get that very, very well, while the top lane turret on their side still sitting at about 50% HP. So Rise doing his best to try and keep that turret alive. But
the top turret for PNS is very healthy compared. Caitlyn and Nami not able to pressure the lane as much as PNS could do for their own bot lane. So this is very good for PNS, considering that they should be DETFM should be doing a lot better. DETRF should be doing a lot better in this early game.
Yeah, I mean, you take a look at the farm scores across the board, and there's not really a whole lot that stands out. You can actually see now Yumeochi and T Masao are actually going to head up into the top lane, and right now Jinx has picked up that BF sword, so she's going to be really strong when she gets into this lane. The question is, will they be able to make anything happen? So here comes Jinx. She's going to do her best to help farm this wave under the turret, and the question is now, how is Rabbit 5 going to react? Are they going to leave them with 2 members in the top lane, or will they try and switch again? It'll be very interesting. With the members up here for both teams, I'd be surprised if we see a dragon anytime soon.
Nah, I don't think they're gonna do a dragon that soon. It's 7 minutes into the game. Early game dragon does not worth as much as he used to be anymore. And so, in terms of positioning as well, they're not positioned for a dragon anytime soon. Let's look at mid lane a little bit. Yasuo actually doing a lot better in CS compared to mid lane. Well, relatively, right? So
those 5 farm.
Very much, it's a big number, but yeah, you know, you would expect middle lane to have a little bit more poke, but no, Yasuo is doing actually a little bit better.
Alright, well in the top lane it looks like Jinx and Leona have met their old friend Yorick, but alas, poor Yorick, this tower is also going to go down very, very quickly, and he might not want to stick around if that tower falls. However, the wave does get pushed out, but without any help, that will be another tower with this next wave coming up for PNS.
Yeah, RF did not do well in this lane swap. They were the one who initiated the lane swap, and it did not do well for them. Now PNS has a 2-turret advantage for themselves, and RF has no answer to that as of yet. Rise is still doing okay in his lane. He's not doing too bad, you know, considering that he will be a late game monster. He's not dead at all, and we're almost at 9-minute marker. Oh, a flash coming out from there, and first blood comes out.
Alright, so nothing really flashy there, but that's one way to get it done, is just poke, 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 and finish it off with your big poke. That's the ace in the hole, and it's a nice pickup. I was just gonna...
Yeah, she actually flashed for the pilt over, and then used her ace in the hole to execute the kill. It was pretty cute to watch.
I was going to say that bot tower not taking a whole lot of damage for PNS, but with Rise out of the picture, they were able to do a pretty good chunk on it. However, all the turrets still up here for PNS, and right now with Jinx and Leona in the bot lane and Caitlyn going back, it wouldn't be the worst time to maybe try and fake the dragon and go on whoever comes to visit you, but
I was just thinking about what Rise was thinking. He saw that Ace in the hole coming and just like, oh well, you know,
yeah,
I can't do anything.
That's how he's...
That's what.
Very sad. And that's actually Yumeochi taking a nice spear to the face, and Ruska is going to try and pick him up the Aqua Prison. That's not going to land. Oh, we get both prisons in this game, and here comes Apo3Lal. He's going to land the Q. Is he going to follow it up? There is still the mid turret for Rabbit 5, so it might not be the best place to go because we've seen that turret
again as
kill
well.
people
So
tonight.
it is going to be a 4 versus 4 in the Dragon Pit, but Caitlyn is a little bit off position. She's not there at the moment, and Warwick can come in to steal the dragon, but they are looking like they're going hard onto Kuroa, and the dragon does go down to PNS.
Yeah, that was a very interesting play out of Kuroa. He ulted, and actually ulted onto Warwick, which is not the target you want to be looking for. And then Warwick came back, or Warwick, and ulted on him. That's going to be a kill. 2 kills. Could it be a 3rd kill? Apo3Lal's got to get out of there, but again, Ace in the hole. Nidalee's going to take the turret. The heal's going to help keep her alive. And
oh!
a rocket just missing out of Yumeochi. So...
Rocket not getting the execute, but they are going on the 4-man dive, and Warwick is tanking up the turret. Looks like Nami's going to tank up the second part of the turret, and they are going to get the... Oh! Oh! That was bad. Oh, that's bronze play. Come on. I don't want to say bad things, but that was not good. But that is going to the first turret for the TRF, and they did not get the dragon, but they did get the first turret, so it's a fair trade, I guess.
Yeah, so you talk about that's Rabbit 5 trading 1 member of their team for 1 turret. You know, usually it's a pretty good trade, but usually it's not the turret picking up the kill. So, fortunately it is early game, and because it was an execute, no gold going over to PNS, and just a 10-second, 12-second death timer. So Ruskell's going to be able to run back into the game here. Just kind of an extended B, if you will, there.
That is very unfortunate. But it is what it is, and Kuroa actually going in onto Nami, but has his wind wall up, but not going to do anything with that.
Yeah, so he's just trying to pick up those wraiths, get a little bit of extra farm. Again, the farm in that mid lane, pretty close, 84 to 82. All across the board, Rise is now caught back up with Yorick, so he's been left alone in that top lane to pick up some of his own farm. Has the tier completed as well, and Kuroa actually... slicing, dicing, and dashing into spears in the mid lane, so he's going to have to back out, go home, and pick up a little bit of health himself.
Yeah, Estelle Lim actually has been having very good spears in this game. Landed a couple, like just now he landed 2 onto Jinx and Leona. And you can see already Kuroa getting a lot of poke down onto him in the mid lane, so Nidalee is doing something right.
Alright, and I'm so excited we get to see the... the Wriggles Lantern coming out on Warwick again this game, as we do have action in the top lane. Monster Parrot's going to get taken really low, and a really nice tidal wave coming out from Nami. Ace in the hole trying to pick up another kill, but Ruska making short work of that before it could even happen. Eslim's been caught out a little bit here. Nice dodge from the Leona Zenith Blade, but Jinx kind of saying, you're not the, Caitlyn, you're not the only ADC with a long-range finishing move, and the Super Mega Death Rocket comes out and picks up the kill for Yumeochi.
Yeah, he doesn't actually pick up the kill. It was actually Lee Sin who actually picked up the kill. So
picking up the assist for... It's actually a Waker taking a lot of damage. He steps on those Flame Chompers. He's going to have to find something to go lifesteal, as now Rabbit 5 has regrouped in the mid lane. Maybe try and
looks like it might be a very quick game, because both teams is looking like they want to push the game to end it really, really quickly. As you can see, 2 members already in the mid lane, 3 members already in mid lane for PNS.
And the ult actually being used on a Waker. He's not so tanky yet, so it was a pretty good ultimate. It forced him to blow his flash, which was nice, and Kuroa doing his best to avoid as much damage as possible by putting out the wind wow. very interesting play. We're seeing a lot of aggression on both sides here. They're pushing real hard. They're trying to pick up these turrets.
They're very aggressive. And Rice is just in the top lane, farming away, not giving the Karen a what's going on because he has his teleport up so he can get into the fight anytime he wants. And Jinx getting hooked down so hard is now on one side of her health with one of the spears and a couple of auto attacks from the other team.
Yeah, it's actually both of these top laners have just really been allowed to free farm while the rest of their team has been back and forth pushing these turrets. And this is where having that Nidalee, having that Caitlyn comes into play. Look at the poke they're able to lay down as they lay siege to this turret. The damage coming out from Zacho right now is really, really strong.
If you guys are wondering if these are pro teams, they are not pro teams. Pro player, the definition of a pro player means you're being paid to play the games and you're giving a salary. These are not salaried players. JCG does have a prize pool, but they do not give salaries to the players. The only players in the world that are giving salaries are the Pro League players, which is the OGN, the LPL, and the EULCS, as well as the NALCS, and GPL, of course.
So a lot of damage coming out from Kuroa. He's going to take a lot of damage himself, though, and PNS is just going to have to back away from this as Rise getting caught out in the top lane. He's going to be ulted by Warwick. Flash is coming out everywhere. A little bit of a misstep there coming from Yorick, but I was going to say Warwick's going to catch up, but a nice Rune Prison. Question is now, will he be able to continue that pursuit? On the hunt indeed, and believe it or not, Monster Parent's going to get out of that. Kuroa going deep with his ultimate was going to take a lot of damage, but they're going very, very hard on Zacho ADC in the middle. Death Rocket's going to come out. Here comes the ultimate from Nami. Going to maybe do a little bit of knock-up. But she actually has to flash a Squell. Had the Q from Apple3 LOL on her as well. He's going to follow through for a kill. It's a double kill for PNS here in the mid lane. Have to be really careful from those Nidalee spears coming out. But with the wind wall, it'll protect him, and it's going to be another turret. So the second tier mid lane turret picked up here for PNS.
Oh my god, Yume OG was just getting so much aggro from the turret. He got hooked down half health by one of Nidalee's spears, went in and got about 3 or 4 turret hits, and so he's just not having a good game in terms of just continuously eating those hooks.
Alright.
But at the same time, Estelle Lin has been giving a lot of good spears this game, very accurate with those spears.
And a nice job there. PNS is actually able to pick up the dragon, and they don't lose their whole team to do it this time. Warwick on the chase. Full health Monster Parent's Rise here is in the area, though, so he should be able to defer any interlopers from that engagement, as Estelim and Ruska are just going to make their way back into the mid lane and continue to push because that mid turret is still here. So look for Rabbit 5 to now take it, and yeah, there it is. That's going to be the last hit coming out from Zacho. And it will be the third turret of the game here for Rabbit 5 as they might continue this push now in the mid lane with a full wave of minions. Yeah,
so DET are now just... Wait, what is RF? Oh, Rabbit 5, yeah. So Rabbit 5 has been just, you know, pulling in the resources together, just pushing in together as a team. They are in a little... No, they're not in the goal lead at all. They are 1,000 gold down and a turret down. So it is not doing... It's not too good for them in terms of just, you know, the team composition coming out from PNS is a lot stronger than late game. So if they're losing it, if they're not on a goal lead by this time, they're gonna have a bad time late game, and so they need to gather their resources and try to see if they can split push or push together and get some objectives done. Get a dragon, get barons, get the buffs, and make sure they don't lose anything in return.
Yeah, and it's really fun to watch these teams play because they are very new. They're the teams that rotated up into the Premier League, so they don't have the experience to play at this level. So we always get to see a little bit of interesting play out of all of these players as we look at Kuroa in the top lane doing his best to farm. Keep your eye on Warwick. He's sitting at 20 stacks now for his his Wriggles. So 5 more, that will become the Pharaoh Flare, and he's going to start to do just a little bit more damage. It makes the ult hurt a little bit more as well, but it's a nice push in the mid lane. They're going to maybe back off, go into the jungle here, and again, the top laners basically left to go about their business, both carrying teleport, both just trying to get that farm. All things considered, farm very close. I'd want that Rise on my side, and so that's going to go in favor. And actually, this is 18 minutes. There's a ward there, though, so they cannot continue to do this Baron.
No, they don't want to do this Baron 18 minutes of the game. It's very dangerous. It takes a very long time for them to take down the Baron in 18 minutes of the game, and the other team can come back and completely destroy them anytime. So that is not a good. There's a good decision that they actually do not continue with the Baron.
Yeah, I don't know what that was. I was very surprised that directed camera brought us over to Baron there, because not something you expect to see. You know, they might have had a shot at it. They did do the smart thing and got out of there pretty quick as soon as they learned there was a ward there. Here comes the Aqua Prison, but Nami's really the only one here. Rabbit 5's gonna have to try and collapse on this turret, and a lot of damage coming out from Kuroa, but he might have gone a little too deep. He needs the rest of his team to follow up with him. Yumeochi's gonna pick a spear up to the face, but there's a lot of damage coming up from the whole team. York's Ghost is gonna go down, but no actual deaths have come out yet, and SLM on Nidalee still is at full health. She's gonna jump into that. Here comes the ultimate, the tidal wave coming across all members of the team. It's a double kill for Caitlyn. Gonna be a triple kill, and she's not done yet. Here she comes. Kuroa's gotta try and do a knockup out of this, but Awaker's not gonna let him get away. That's gonna be a quadra. The only member left standing here is Apple 3 Law. Will he be able to jump away? There's a lot of speed here coming out. The spear's gonna hit. Warwick's gonna get a Q across, and that should be a deadly sin unless he has a lot of tricks up his sleeve. And that will be an ace, a 5-0. Very, 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 very well played by Rabbit 5.
Scumbag Nidalee taking away the pentakill from Caitlyn. But yeah, you know, a lot of people on Twitch have been saying, you know, they're diamond but they're not doing good as a team. But you know, I've always said this with the Japanese players. They are not real life friends, most of them. They're actually just online friends, and this happens with a lot of players who don't have their own servers. They are very good mechanically, individually, but once it comes to gaming together as a team, when you have a team together, it's not about how good your solo mechanical skills is. It's about how you communicate in the team and who makes the calls, and do you even listen to calls as a team. And that's one thing that I find that is not really good with the Japanese team. They don't know how to communicate as a team together very well. The only team I've seen so far that has good communications is Rascal Jesters. They are very nice people in real life, and they do seem that they are very good friends in real life as well, and that is always a good basis of starting a team together.
All right.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, I mean, things looking pretty good. You look at the kill score, it's 10-3 in favor of Rabbit 5, but you look at the gold score, it's not even 1,000. As Kuroa now trying to pick up these raids. He's going to be ulted by Warwick, but the Q actually knocks him out of it, so that's an interaction I've never seen before. But nevertheless, it will allow Kuroa to get away. Kuroa now actually getting real close to that Infinity Edge. When he hits that, he's going to do a lot more damage. Just needs the pickaxe to finish that up in here. And we might see an engagement here from Apollau. Oh, he just misses getting the insect kick back into his team onto Zacko. That's going to allow him to get away. The question is, will they follow this up? Nidalee still, though, from the side, throwing those spears in and doing a lot of damage.
Yeah, Aselim has been doing very well with the Nidalee spears. He has been... The spears really help in terms of just not letting PNS completely fully commit into the team fights. And so you see PNS actually losing on the team fights because Nidalee has been doing so well with the pokes and just making sure that the carries are not fully, you know, equipped to be committed to a team fight. Jinx has been eating a lot of those spears, and now we do see them contesting for the dragon.
Alright, well, Apple 3 is looking for the steal. I don't know if he's going to be able to get his Q on anybody and get in there in time. It will be just a little bit late, and so that will be the Dragon for Rabbit 5. Look at the damage here coming out onto Monster Parent between Nidalee Spears and Aces in the hole. So, again, you're right. It's that poke, that ability to put the damage on before the team fights start has been working out really well for Rabbit 5. With that Dragon Gold going a little bit more in favor, it's still not a very huge gap. Turret's in favor of actually PNS, but yeah, so far it's pretty hard to call. Rise is going to continue to get bigger. He has his Rod of Ages completed, but we haven't seen a lot, honestly, from him yet. You look even at the kill scores, because it's only 3 kills for PNS, it's really hard to say I've liked what I've seen out of them so far.
Yeah, the only reason why they have a gold lead, or they are down only 3,000 gold.
Oh, and Yumeochi was not in a good spot. And actually, that was a huge range coming out from the Awaker Warwick ultimate. And good by Jinx. So
yeah, she got caught bad and just completely deleted from the map right there. And so we are 23 minutes into the game. It looks like they're slowly going to the Baron, just clearing out the wards and making sure that they have the eyes for Baron and deleting away wards away from PNS.
Yeah, I'm not really sure what she was doing over there, to be entirely honest, but she got completely caught out of position, and it was those Warwick hijinks meant goodbye jinx. So.
Yeah, and look at that, PNS, you know, we say Ryze is a very scary late game monster. He is, but right now, the Ryze on PNS is not doing very well. I mean, he only has a Rod of Aegis. He hasn't really had anything else completed yet.
Yeah, and it's 25 minutes into the game. It looks like we might get an engage. Yumeochi is back, so Jinx is here. The teleport from Yorick is going to come out here as well. He's actually caught in the middle of the whole team of PNS. The rest of Rabbit 5 actually running away. Team Masao doing his best. A nice Aqua Prison going to come out. Kuroa is going to pick up Yorick. The keyboard fighter is going to go down. Warwick going to go down as well. Yumeochi going to pick one up. Kuroa should probably drop himself unless there's one last hit coming out. Zaka will pick that one up, but it is currently 2 kills in 1. And PNS is not done as they pick up Nami. Apollo's going to follow Zako down, slow him down with the E. The Jinx is going to land, and Jinx will pick up that kill. So we saw a 5-0 in favor of Rabbit 5 just a couple minutes ago. That's a 1 for 5 in favor of PNS.
That is going to be a Baron
and that's going to be,
for PNS.
Wow.
Which will take them 3,000 into the goal lead for them, and this is looking very good for PNS. PNS and DTRF are both teams that are coming out from the Master League, so they are not the top tier teams in Japan. They are, I would say, maybe the, you know, top 20 teams, maybe. So yeah, you know, they're not top tiers as of yet, but it's good to see, you know, new teams coming up, just watching their games and seeing how they can grow as the scene grows in Japan. And here we go, a 1,000 goal lead for PNS right now.
Yeah, so that's the Baron for PNS. Just a really good fight in the mid lane. They timed it really well. I think maybe Rabbit 5 lost track of time, didn't realize that Jinx had come back up and was going to be able to be in that fight. And that was Team Masao doing a really good job coming from the jungle on the side and engaging that fight. And that's the beauty of having the Leona. That ultimate came out and it allowed PNS basically to run through the mid lane, pick up those 4 kills. They now have that Baron buff. The red buff's going to go over to Yumeochi. Actually has red and blue buff, so he's going to be able to do a lot with that. You look at the item builds, he's got the Last Whisper, he's got the Static Shift, and the Bloodthirster, so he's going to be doing pretty good damage. Yasuo now with the Infinity Edge completed as well. Ryze having completed the Archangel Staff, so he's starting to get a little scarier as well as they continue this push in the mid lane. But look at the spears. Look at the health disappearing. That's Leona. She's supposed to be a tank, and she's losing a lot to those spears.
Yeah, it really shows how good the poke composition coming out from Rabbit 5 is, because PNS is not able to push into this middle turret. They have been trying, and they cannot poke, and they cannot get into the base as of yet. We see a 4-man push, actually a 5-man push, because Ryze just joined into the team. And another spear coming out, hitting Leona.
They're going to have to actually back off of this because that's under half health, and that means Warwick's got his speed buff, but I don't think they're going to try and follow this up. So again, it's PNS. They really have to look for those clean engages. That's why they were able to win that last fight, is because they didn't get poked down. So look for that to maybe come out. Yasuo, Kuroa's maybe going to try to go look, pick up that farm in the top lane, and now Rabbit 5 just going to try and keep this mid lane pushed out because up until now, they have not been able to push very far. They've only got 3 turrets, and they're all outer turrets. So, you know, Rabbit 5 would really like to pick up one of these second-tier turrets, but the question is, will they be able to do it? They can poke, and they can poke for days, but when we get to these team fights, if they have not poked, they're not going to be able to win them.
Yeah, and it's surprising to see Yasuo actually has a 50 CS lead over Nidalee, even though Nidalee is doing so well in terms of poking. But actually Yasuo is doing a lot better in terms of CS, although he's 1-4 for 4. But as of right now, I do think, even though it's only a 1,000 goal lead, I do think PNS has a really strong hold over the Rabbit 5. The only reason why they can't really siege is because of the spears, and if they can catch just one person out, maybe even catch Nami out, they can really...
Well, speak about catching out, this is a 5-man gang squad. Warwick's going to get just over those flame chompers, but take a lot of damage. Actually has to blow his flash. Will be hit with the cork there. So a nice idea coming out of PNS, but nothing really going to come of it right there.
Yeah, and is it going to be another dragon for PNS? They're going to extend their goal lead. It's going to be a 2,000 goal lead for now. Almost a 3,000 goal lead, so they are doing very, very well. But they are still not able to siege into the base of Rapid 5. And you can tell Rapid 5 is playing very cautious. They don't dare to go out of their base going to the jungle, but here we go.
Well,
it's going to be...
You can see that was PNS actually standing right on top of the ward. Yasuo trying to split push in the top lane, and they saw that. They pinged it out, which meant Rapid 5 could come down and try and pick these up. And it's actually going to be Team Asao trying to just lead the rest of the team away from the rest of his teammates. It does allow Yasuo some time. He does pick up a turret in the top lane, but because Yorick is carrying that teleport, he's able to teleport up there and stop the split push. So they lose 2 members. They pick up a turret. Hard to say if it was worth it, but because Rabbit 5 is not able to capitalize on those deaths, PNS can't really complain too hard. If Waker actually is going to catch out Yumeochi in the bottom lane. Zako's here as well. Monster Parent, however, here, it's a 2v2. The question is, who has more damage? Monster Parent taking a lot of damage. Zako's got a lot of damage. Look at the Piltover Peacemakers coming out. A Waker now, he's going to get in turret range. The ultimate actually coming out. The question is, does he have... Oh! So the kill will go over to Zako. Meanwhile, in the mid lane, though, Yasuo does manage to pick up... excuse me, I'm totally blanking. Your favorite Nami goes down in the mid lane. So, however, that's a support being traded over for a Rise, who honestly, he's got the start on the Frozen Heart now, but it's
don't get me wrong, I like Nami. I just don't like her in team composition. Solo queue, it's completely fine, but when it comes to team composition, I just don't think she gives as much utility as other supports can give. But we are 9-15. It's a 2,000 goal lead for PNS. 1.5 minutes to the next live Baron. I think this is going to be the big fight coming up from both sides. I think this is going to be a very decisive Baron in terms of, you know, if they get a clean ace onto Rabbit 5, it's going to be game for PNS.
I mean, all things considered, it's a very, very close game. You look at where some of that gold is going, and there's just so much farm on Yasuo right now. If he can stay alive, he's going to be able to do a lot of damage in these team fights. Look at the AD carries. Jinx, 2, 2, and 6, not the greatest, but she's been doing a pretty good job of putting damage down as well. But if Rabbit 5 can keep Zako alive, there's a lot of damage coming up from that Caitlyn right now. But you're right. This is going to happen around Baron. Detonation, Rabbit 5, clearing out all the wards around that Baron area. And now we might see something happen as they are collapsing onto this mid lane. Here comes the speed boost. Will they try and make something happen? No, they're going to turn around. The question is now, does PNS turn around? The Q landing from Appa3 LOL, but they will not follow it up. Things are going to be real tense as it's 20 seconds till Mr. Baron comes up. Expect these teams to try and... Well, they're always trying to kill each other, but this is going to be once it really happens. Boy, my brain like shut off there for a second. I apologize.
No, and you know the goal lead is extended to about 3,000 gold right now, so this variant is going to be very decisive for both sides of the team. I don't know if DGRF will dare to contest for it in terms of just they don't have any vision onto Baron as of now, and if they go into the wrong bush or if they even try to face check, it's going to be very terrible for them, because if Nidalee can't see anyone and she can't poke, then she's basically useless in terms of just starting a fight.
Alright, well the pings come out because they do see Lee Sin and Rise in the mid lane. This is going to go very poorly. If they catch out Team Asao, he's going to surely go down, caught out. So Rabbit 5 plays that really, really well. They saw 2 members of PNS actually sent to try and stop that minion wave. And wow, that was just very, very well played. The amulet coin being used allowed them to get in a position. They take out Leona, who's the support, but very tanky, and the huge initiation for PNS. Now they're going to try and take this Baron. The Feral Flare on Warwick's going to allow him to do it pretty well, but they're going to turn around. Corolla's actually going to get killed by Nidalee. He's going to go down. Look at the damage come out. Here comes the tidal wave out of Nami. It should miss, but now as Yumeochi's going to have to try and run away. The Rune Prison coming out. Awaker actually flashing over, doing a lot of damage. Going to get kicked away by Apple 3 Law's Lee Sin. They're going to run under the turret. Yume Ochi's going to be caught by the Aqua Prison. He's going to go down. Estel in full health, going to take a few of those tower shots. Awaker going to take a few. And now, Rabbit 5 has busted this game wide open. That's going to be a turret. Look at them. They can push another turret.
That was a beautiful Aqua Prison coming up from Nami. One of the only good Aqua Prisons I've seen so far. And really loved Jinx in place and got that kill over them. And they are going to get 2 turrets off of this and an inhibitor. Multi inhibitor as well. And so this is very good for GTRF. They completely caught Yasuo out of position. Literally 1v1 Yasuo and killed him. And so now they have the upper hand and they can go for this Baron because it's still 10 seconds before Jinx is up. But it can be very tricky for them because, you know, PNS is hot on their heels. Look at that. They don't want to go for that Baron. They know that if they do this and they fail, it's going to be game over for them.
So now the question becomes, you know, it looks like they're all trying to recall here. They have to be really careful so that they don't recall and give away the Baron again. As we keep getting these Baron dances, it's always one team goes for it, the other comes back. So actually, Masao's just going to try to clear the wards out around it. And we'll have to see what happens here because all members of PNS are up now. The ward's being cleared up. And yeah, they will actually start this Baron up. So the question is it just a fake attempt or are they going to try and put it down? Baron's already gone down to half health. So.
Caitlyn is so far away and Yorick does not want to use his teleport as of yet. So they can continue sieging this because Baron is at, what is his health at? I cannot see his health.
Yeah, that was a very interesting move by PNS because they kind of faked the Baron. They came out to fight, didn't get anybody, and went back to the Baron. They will actually pick up a kill. Kuro's going to pick it up on Awaker. Awaker's Ghost, however, and they're still doing a lot of damage. They have to deal with a dead Warwick. Not really the thrill they were looking for. Zako's going to flash in and get Rune Prison, so not going well. And Yume Ochi's going to pick one up. He's at full health. He's getting all over the place, getting excited. Double kill going across the Rise, and
oh,
just
look at
like
this,
that,
Jinx cannot be stopped right now. One more, a flash coming out, and Jinx gets the ace. I think that's a triple kill for her, right? Is that a double or a triple?
Yeah,
I don't know anymore.
I don't know. It looks like, actually, I apologize. Our stream might be having a bit of a problem here. I'm dropping a lot of frames right now. I apologize.
You are dropping a little bit, I think.
If, yeah. Huh. I'll try and look into that. We're actually getting a nice inhibitor destroyed there. I'm going to restart the stream really quick just because I don't know why I've all of a sudden like lost all of my bandwidth.
Okay.
All right. Hello, everybody. Good evening, and welcome to JCG. This is the Premier League Season 2, 2014, and Day 1. So we're kicking things off here tonight. My name is Corey Swanson, and I know many of you are probably here looking for Ferlin Yoshimi. She's here. Are you here? I think you're here.
Hi guys, I am here. Sorry.
Hello, everybody. Good evening, and welcome. Oh boy. All right, we're good. Sorry.
What?
I was just nothing. Ignore the fact that you just heard everything for 2 seconds twice on stream. I apologize. But go ahead, Ferlin, you're here, right?
Yeah, I am. Hello everyone. Good evening. I'm not on stream because my friend's cat destroyed my webcam, and so I won't be on stream today. But you have the lovely, beautiful Mr. Corey Swanson here to look at, so that'll be very nice. And today we are going to be presenting you with the JCG Season 2 Premier League Day 1, the group stages. So that's going to be really exciting.
Yeah. So, and I just put your picture up on the stream because you told me to. I'm
Yeah,
kidding.
some people will be like,
Just-
who is this?
Yeah, who is that? Don't worry, your name's on there. Our name is there. But yeah, so that is Ferlin Yoshimi. I am Corey Swanson. And yeah, we are going to be looking at the first game of the night, actually coming up really quick here. We're not going to have a lot of downtime making you listen to us talk. We're going to jump in pretty quick, but it's Detonation.
Oh wait, I need to get. Oh crap! I can't get into the game.
Oh, good work.
Wait, why is game full? I don't understand. There's only one spectator.
Because you can't. No, just click spectate. Don't click join. Hit spectate, and it'll work just fine.
Oh right.
But yeah,
Okay.
so we're actually going to jump in pretty quick. It's Detonation FM, a team you may know, you may have heard of, one of Japan's top tier sort of teams. They've been struggling a little bit recently, but we will be seeing actually new player with them tonight, facing off against Crucial Moment. So that's a new team here at the Premier League. The Premier League's kind of fun because it's an 8-team league for those of you unfamiliar with the format. And what's very interesting about how the Premier League works is that it's typically been there's 2, 3, sometimes 4 teams that will stay in the league, do very, very well. And then the bottom 4 slots are opened up for new teams to come in. So those are always changing. And so we get to see new teams. We get to see new players. So honestly, for me, this is the first time I'm going to see CM come out and play. So I don't know how that's going to do, how that's going to go.
Yeah, if you guys don't know what the team is, it's Crucial Moment, which
Crucial Moment.
CM is. Yeah, they just came up from the Master League, so we're very excited to see new teams coming in and out. And this season, actually, Okinawa Tora will not be playing because they have changed 3 of their starting members, and they will not be present in time for the present season. So that's a big upset, but we're very excited to have new teams joining us.
Yeah, no, it's great. So very, very much looking forward to that this evening. I was going to say something. Oh, yes. So we are playing on patch 4.5. So this is the live NA server. And I think we're going to jump in pretty quick here. But that means Feral Flare is an item. It is available. Will it influence the picks? Have the teams been practicing with it? But yeah, so that's going to really come down. Again, like I mentioned before, Detonation FM, Udiproid, Season 3 Challenger. I have no idea what role he's going to play. It's the rotating Detonation FM roster. So
Yeah, so today, their team captain, Destination FM, President Ma, will not be playing today, and will be taken over by Real Silva, who is a new team member. I mean, you guys have been... It's really exciting because Real Silva has been one of the top players in Japan, and he has been without a team for a while now. And so for him to be joining DETFM is such a really big step, and we're very excited to see him in this new lineup of DETFM. Maybe, hopefully, it will be a good one for them.
Yeah. So yeah, and that's they're going to be playing with Bonzin today as well too. It looks like so. It'll be very interesting. Detonation FM, because kind of last year one of the top team, like the team to beat. And they kind of fell out of favor recently. They've not been doing so well in both JCG events and the LJ League, which is the other league here in Japan. And so I think what they're just trying to do is shake the roster up a little bit because what they've been doing this year so far has not been working.
Yeah, no, they have been having like really bad season. Well, the last couple of months have been really bad for them. But right, we hope to see a newly improved DTFM tonight. But I'm very excited to see the games tonight, mainly because there's a lot of Heimerdinger being played overseas in all different leagues. I want to see if the Japanese teams have been picking up on that, and it's going to pick up on that on the games we're going to see here today as well.
Yeah, so for those of you joining us, this is, like I said before, the JCG Premier League. We will be bringing you 3 games this evening, so if you got to run off for something, we'll be here for quite a while. We're looking at about, what time is it? It's 8:10, so we'll be starting pretty quickly here, and we're going to be trying to do the games in about hour increments. So hopefully we don't have any game. Well, I don't say hopefully because long games are always fun too, but we're going to try to keep the schedule and see what happens.
Yeah, we are, and I hope we can go into game.
Yeah, it looks like we're actually going to jump into picks and bans right here already. So with that said, I'm going to bring up this screen, which I think is cool. Yeah, so we're going to get bans right away here. On the blue side, it's going to be CM. On the purple side, it's going to be Detonation FM. Yeah, no bans coming out quite yet. LeBlanc will be the first ban, so that's something not surprised to see at all.
Oh, you didn't put your camera
I know,
in there,
I just realized that, so not that anybody wants to look at my face. I might stick that in there just to be annoying. But in the meantime,
let me just talk about the ban.
Renekton is coming out as ban number 2.
Yeah, the second ban is going to be Renekton. I think it's a very standard ban because we don't really know what crucial moments CM here really plays that much, especially with their top laner. And so I think Renekton is a very safe ban, considering that Renekton has a very strong early game control over his lane. So the next 2 bans coming out will be Kha'Zix and Thresh. You don't really see a Thresh ban coming out recently, but I think with the Japanese team, they don't really pick up on very new champions like Karma or Morgana as of yet, and so Thresh is still one of the top #2 bans for supports at the moment.
All right, yeah. So, and again, there's a lot, a lot of junglers actually being targeted here today. So, I talked about maybe we'll see a Feral Flare jungler. And a lot of these non-Feral Flare junglers are being banned out, so I'm really hoping for that. But we are getting the picks already. It's going to be a Ziggs for CM and Caitlyn Karma for Detonation. So Karma's actually been seeing a bit more play recently, hasn't she?
Yeah, I mean, Karma has been very popular ever since IEM Katowice, because the Korean team actually brought it out, and all the other regions started to really pick up on what Karma can do. And I'm really excited to see her being played today, because Rio Silva has been always talking about how great Karma is, and I'm not surprised to actually see her being played by him today. So it's the first time we're going to see Rio Silva on his new team, Detonation FM. So I really want to see how he and Udaport can work the bot lane together.
Yeah, it'll definitely be interesting. And on the other side, we're going to actually see Graves coming out. I think last time we saw Graves here in Japan was actually fairly recently, but was not played very well at all. So, and picking that Graves actually into a Caitlyn is not always my favorite choice, but
no, he will have a little bit of a hard time depending on who his support is. They can go with a Morgana, because she's not completely like a counter to Karma, but you can't pick something like a Leona over a Karma. You're gonna get really poked down hard that bottom lane. But on the purple side, DTFM is hovering over Cho'Gath and Aatrox. They have locked in that Aatrox. I love this pick. Europe has been really famous for having a lot of Aatrox play, whether it be in the jungle or in the top lane. I do think this will be a top lane. No, actually this will be a jungle Aatrox, because they're going to play a top lane Soraka. We have seen this before with very sad outcomes, but yeah, I'm surprised. I'm looking forward to see what Bonzin can actually bring out with the Soraka. And they are going to CM is still hovering over Nami. It's not news to a lot of people that I am not for Nami. I don't like the champion. I don't like her in a team comp, especially if you're playing in a league. You might want to play in solo queue, that's fine, but I don't think she's worth it to bring out into a team composition.
Well, we'll have to see, because I really do like those tsunamis. If you can hit them, really good initiation or counter initiation for your team. It'll be interesting to see. Like I said, we've never seen a lot of crucial moment play before. So in addition to the team, we get to see what champions they kind of like. And their team is now fully locked in. It's going to be a Jax in the top lane. And Seros is hovering over Gangplank right now. But I
love
don't
it, though.
think we're going to see that.
I love whether it's going to be a Riven or it's going to be Gangplank. I love them both. I think we have seen some really nice, fun plays coming up, a lot of some fun games with Riven or Gangplank. But it is going to be a Riven, which is a more standard pick compared to a Gangplank.
Yeah. All right. Well, and also one other thing I think that we should talk about is that here in 4.5, summoner spells have been changed. So I'm not going to show the summoner spells right now. We'll pop up in just a second. But Barrier is almost, I would say, outclassed now by Heal if you're an AD carry, because of the extra bonus you get in speed and just all around situationally a better pick, I think. So that'll be interesting. And if we get not Ignite, Exhaust coming out now. Exhaust has been really buffed as well with the increased what is it? It's up to 50%.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah. So some of that probably going to come back into play as well here today, which is kind of nice, because it used to be Barrier. Everybody took Barrier. If you wanted to be safe in the mid lane, you'd even take Barrier. But
yeah, I think we can show.
Yeah, I think we can do it now, because we're at.
Yeah. Also, I want to let you guys know that it is going to be a mid lane Soraka, because Udaport has gone up into the top lane for this game, and so he will be playing Riven top, and it will be a mid lane Soraka. So, you know, you look at the composition, and the first thing comes to your mind is, can Aatrox be the only one to really be the forefront tank for the entire team? Because you look at it now, they are going to be very squishy, but they are going to be very mobile. It's a very mobile team. Mm-hmm. You have Caitlyn can really poke down a lot. You have Real Silver on Kama, who can boost the entire team's speed. And you have Seros, who has, you know, her ultimate as well as the heal coming out. So it's very hard. It's easy to lock them down, but you can't just kill off one person, because you have to put in mind the back of your head, you know, Soraka's ultimate is still going to be there. But on the other hand, you have a Jax, and if you don't stop a Jax in the early games, especially when he's carrying a teleport as well, so you don't really know when he's going to use it and how he's going to use it. And once you get into late game, middle to late game, Jax is going to start split pushing, and with his ultimate he can just be wrecking your team, the opposition team, so quickly, and it's going to be a race to see how fast they can actually end the game for DTFM.
Yeah, you talk about that kind of lack of tanks, and then with that Jax, with a Jax Vi already on that on CM side, they're even with the mobility provided by Karma and Riven jumping all over the place, Aatrox jumping all over the place. I'm really worried already for Caitlyn, just because of the ability to get to her. There's no real good peel to keep these super dive champions off of her. On top of that, you have Nami ultimate, you have Ziggs ultimate, and you have Graves, who all have these giant AoE ultimates. You slow them down with Nami, which is going to make it a lot easier to hit people with the Ziggs super mega death bomb, or I can't even describe what that is, but his ultimate. I don't know. I'm really
the Mega Inferno.
I can't get behind Detonation FM's team right now.
Yeah.
It's fun to see a bunch of interesting picks come out. And like you were talking about, a Soraka ultimate now is going to be in the back of your mind, and because she's in the mid lane, she's going to have a bit more AP than you would see as a support Soraka, which will be nice for his team as well. But,
yeah, and if you know the Japanese scene a little bit, there are a lot of Soraka Japanese players in Japan, actually, and I don't know, it's kind of a very popular pick with the Japanese players. You don't see her in the other pro leagues anywhere. But it's really nice to see them play Soraka. I don't know to what extent can this really be, considering how much of a tilt DTFM is in at the moment. It's really hard to go behind them, especially with their picks coming out. You want to be behind them because they have such a good, strong history as a team. But still, when you have Soraka, you have Riven, and then you pick up, just such a. It's very mobile, but it's so squishy. When they come into a 5v5 fight, they really can't play like a hard, engaged 5v5 fight because the Jax and Vi will completely lock one or two members down, and they're gonna just completely destroy you straight out. And then you have Ziggs. Ziggs is one of the most probably one of the strongest lane wave clear mid laners we have in League of Legends at the moment, and so you can't push a lane with Ziggs there.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm really excited to see how this whole thing plays out. In addition to both the teams, we also get to see Crucial Moment and how they stack up against kind of this old guard of Japanese League of Legends here today. So that's the match we've got coming for you. We're loading into game right now, and we'll get that underway very, very shortly. But it will be Detonation FM versus Crucial Moment here at JCG Premier League. This is the first day of Season 2, so thank you very much for stopping by to share some Japan League of Legends with us today. We're very, very excited to be able to bring that to you this evening.
Gabe, I want to introduce who you are, because you don't have the name tag on or anything.
So. Oh, but I do. I'm on the main screen right now. I even made a name tag today. But,
oh yeah, it is.
Yeah, isn't that see, it's so much easier that way.
Yeah,
I am Corey Swanson. Sometimes you can find me on Facebook, Twitter at Swans up there, and the disembodied voice with the lovely picture to my, actually I don't know what direction that is. I think it's my right. Is the wonderful Ferlin Yoshimi here. Cat chewed through her webcam.
Yeah.
And so we are unable to get her beautiful face here streaming live with us. But there's no shortage of pictures of your beautiful face, Ferlin.
Wow, that's very kind of you. So there are a few couple of Japanese people here. So, 皆さん今回ジャパン e スポーツのチャンネルの方は英語配信となりますので、今日日本語の配信とも別の試合配信しますので、今JCG ロールのチャンネルだと、代わりに多分 RJ のTOC かな ?RJ と TOC の試合が配信してるので、もし、日本語版の方がよかったら、JCG ロールに行ってください。今回こちらのジャパン e スポーツチャンネルは、英語配信となります。よろしくお願いします。Alright, so I think we're going to go into game right now.
Yep, we are jumping right into game here, getting things underway right away. It'll be very interesting to see how everything starts out. So, just getting all of the characters here organized for my own sanity. Take a look at the items all across the board. And if I told you right now there was one player in this game that had a scrying orb, would you be able to guess who had the scrying orb?
I would think Udaport would take it because it's his favorite item to take.
And actually, we're going to get a level 1 engage. Rio Silva's going to put a Q into that bush and land on all 5 members of CM. However, nobody dies. Detonation FM did not want to engage that. They were simply checking the bush. So it was a nice catch up by Rio Silva. And everybody's now going to recall back to base, at least for CM. Get their health bars back. Rio Silva doing the same thing as he was taken very, very low. And Detonation FM now looking for maybe a bit of a blue steal here. It's been a while.
This is what happens. That brush at the bottom lane is actually one of the death brushes now. A lot of players in a lot of leagues have been caught out in that brush, and it's one of the death brushes. I love the new patches that's been coming out because I love level 1 engagements, and with the whole trinket being later right now, the level 1 engagements can start again. So I'm really excited to see that. Unfortunately, no one died, there was no first blood given, but still quite an exciting start to the first match that we have today.
All right, and actually we have, as the directed camera is going away, Detonation FM is going to be spotted out here by Silver Spoon for CM, so they know that their blue is being taken. And actually Rio Silva and Bonds in the bot lane as well, putting a little bit of harass down onto this red buff, which is actually going to work really well because already Nami has no health to go back into that lane.
Yeah, Nami has been punished a hell lot in the early game right now. So like I said before, I don't know what Nami can actually bring to a team if she doesn't actually land her Aqua Prisons, but you know, it doesn't look like a very good start. You can see already both Graves and Nami health bar. It's not looking too good right now, and if you are a Karma and a Caitlyn, you can push that lane really quickly. Seros on the other hand...
Speaking of the lane, and the mid lane Ignite already going down, Satchel Charge being used to push Seros back. A flash actually has to come out of Amity as he misses the Q, and I think both of these mid lane champions are just going to walk away from that. Both at quite low health. Ziggs just over half, but the thing is Soraka's going to be able to heal it back. And that's actually what at one point I wanted to make in the bottom lane too, is that, yeah, Graves is taking a bit of damage. Should be able to heal it back from Nami, but actually, they're taking so much harass, it's not going to get healed back. So.
No, not at all. I'm excited to see this Seros Amity mid lane fight coming up, because Seros can he doesn't have to go back too much because he can just sustain himself in the lane as long as he wants to. But on the other hand, you have Ziggs who can clear his way so fast, and so it's going to be pretty even in the game in the mid lane, because Soraka doesn't really have anything in her kit that would be assassin worth. You know, she can't one-shot anybody right now, or even mid-game into this game.
And a good job of Sulfa there, putting a little pressure on the mid lane. They're not going to pick anything up out of that. They did make Seros use his flash on Soraka there, so actually a lot of damage coming up from Silver Spoon in the top lane. Uniproid gone very low. He's actually going to have to stun. Jax is going to be able to leap strike. Not enough, apparently, because Uniproid is going to be able to get away from this one with just a sliver of health remaining. As we do see a bit more action in the bot lane. So Sulfa doing a good job making his presence known all throughout the map, as Aatrox actually sticking mostly to the jungle for the time being. But a really nice play in the top lane out of Silver Spoon. Unfortunately, he's not going to be able to get anything out of it other than to push Uniproid out of lane and pick up a little extra experience now.
Yeah, that's what you have when you play a Aatrox jungler. If you play an Aatrox top lane, it's fine. But once you're an Aatrox jungler, you need that like slight more amount of CS than a normal jungler would. And so I wouldn't be seeing Aurora on any lanes for ganking that soon. I think maybe it only happen when he gets his passive, his ultimate, so level 6. But other than that, oh no, I'm sorry, he's passive, yes. And so you won't see him ganking the lanes much often as much as Sulfur is doing with Vi right now. She did have a partially successful gang at the bot lane, because the bot lane for CM has been pushed pretty hard, pressured really hard, and so with that jungler presence just now, they could push the lane back towards DHFM right now.
Yeah, so we're actually seeing just a lot of aggression on both sides, both teams here, as we see Aatrox kind of waiting around. You talked about Asteroid maybe waiting to do the gank. He's waiting right now to gank the top lane, but Jax is not there. There's nobody to gank, so there's a lot of time
patiently waiting
being used there. The question is, will it pay off, as Jax is actually going to walk right into that bush. There's Asta Ora. He's going to be able to put a lot of damage here on Silver Spoon, as Uniproid is going to come now to follow it up, but nice ward, nice jump, and Silver Spoon's going to be able to walk away from that one pretty easily. A lot of damage
nice
in the
Aqua
bot
Prison
lane
coming out
as
from
well.
Nami at the bot lane. Actually prisoning up both Rio Silva and Bonzin right there, giving them a lot of free auto attack damage onto both the AD carry and the support. And you can see right now, Rio Silva actually has to return to base, and so this lane is going to be pushed up right up to DTFM's bot lane turret.
Alright, and earlier on we talked about Ziggs being a really good lane pusher. Seros also a huge ability to push the lane with those star calls, has hit level 6 already, so that global heal is available. Watch for that to maybe come out if anybody's going to get real low. And in the top lane, again, Asta Ore is sitting in that river bush. He's waiting to try and make something happen. The question is, will something come of it? So here he comes. He's actually going to miss. Silver Spoon should just be able to walk away from this, no problem. And that's a bit more time wasted by Asta Ore. It'll be really interesting. I think he might go for that Pharaoh Flare, but spending all of this time ganking means less and less time to farm. At the moment, it's not as crucial, but if you're going to gank, you really want to try and get something out of it. And so far, nothing doing for Aatrox.
Yeah, and you can really tell how much Unipoint is one of the top players in Japan. He's just winning his lane against a Jax too. You know, Unipoint, let's look at the CS. It's 43
Speaking of
to
Unipoint,
25.
he's actually going to dive here. He hits level 6 for his ultimate. Actually has to get the ultimate from Soraka because he does go a little too deep, taking a lot of tower damage, but he's going to walk away from that, and that will be first blood going to Detonation FM Uniproid. If you are crucial moment, that's not where you want the first blood to be, because Uniproid loves his top lane Riven. And maybe not so much for the heal so much as just being able to pick up an assist using Soraka's ultimate there.
Yeah, I think that's a good way to get your KDA up right now. And so Jax actually used, Silverstone actually used his teleport to get back into lane. So DTFM actually knows that there will not be a Jax teleport for a while. So I think they might want to contest for Dragon really soon, because there is not going to be that top laner presence with Jax, you know, just coming in from the back with a ward or teleport coming down.
Right, and that's really nice for Silver Spoon because it allows him to not really miss out on any of that farm and experience, as we actually have Asteroid again coming into the bot lane. This time, a very, very good gank. 2 flashes blown and a heal in the bot lane, so Hafu and Real now without their flashes for the next 3 minutes, and Nami's not going to have her summoner heal either. Ooh.
Yeah, I think Asterori has been trying to gank a little bit more, but fairly unsuccessful. So we have to look at what he's going to buy and how he's going to build this Aatrox.
And so actually a lot of damage coming up from both of those top laners going at it head to head up there in the top lane. Udapone actually with the double Doran's Blade as well as a Brutalizer, so he's going to be able to put out a lot of damage. But really good job by Silverspoon actually matching him, using that Empowered Strike to put the damage back on. There is a slight 1 level difference there, but Jax now with his ultimate going to be able to, well, pretty much go toe-to-toe, and once he gets a chance to pick up a few more items, as we actually have Solva coming out, a beautiful flash, a beautiful Q, ultimate coming onto Bonzin, and goodbye Bonzin, deleted from the map. That was a beautiful lane gank. Whew.
Yeah, Vi really came at a beautiful time. The tidal wave coming out from Nami was spot on. It was just a good gank coming out. DTFM, Bonzin, and Real Silver did not see that coming at all. And I think we are going to see the first Feral Flare for the game today. So it is going to be the build for Feral Flare. So I'm really excited to see if Aurora is going to build this Feral Flare on Aatrox.
Yeah, well, it's probably what's going to come out, because I don't think you can build a whole lot else out of that Madrid. So that becomes kind of a ticking time bomb. It's how fast can you get that farmed up. For those of you unfamiliar with the item, this will build into Wriggle's Lantern, and then with Wriggle's Lantern, when you kill 25, when you accumulate 25 kills on large jungle monsters, it upgrades into Feral Flare, which does extra damage every attack on the jungle monsters, as well as 33% of that damage to champions. And the more you stack that, the more damage you do. So
yeah, it's a 35% attack speed, especially on a Aatrox, is going to be so scary. Aatrox is just a monster when it comes to mid game and late game, and if you have Feral Flare on it early on, it's going to be really scary. Asurori always had a very decent game in all the games that he's played. He's never really played badly, or has he been very fantastic, but he's always been very consistent. And so hopefully today with this new build, he can really show us what his Aatrox can really prove to us.
you can actually see Udiproid staying a little too long. You know Silverspoon's going to go in on this, but Soraka should have her ultimate available, and yeah, there it is.
Oh.
That's going to let Udiproid... In most situations, you'd probably see Riven back off, but knowing that ultimate was available allowed him to go in and pick up another kill. That's not good for Silverspoon, though. In the bot lane, though, the Aqua Prison, not Room Prison, excuse me, it's one of these prisons is going to land actually on both Bonzin and Rio Silva, but they're going to walk away, pop a few potions, and everything's going to be okay.
That's actually the second time Nami has gotten the two-man Aqua Prison on the same position, the same spot as well. So I think the ETFM's bot lane should be a little stay clear of that position the next time around. They got pushed so far into their lane.
Yeah, it'll be... it's interesting. This bot lane so far, I think, has really been back and forth. You know.
And it's very surprising. If I look at the CS difference with the mid lane, it's 84 to 110. Ziggs is actually losing out on the CS fight. It's very surprising considering he's one of the best wave clear mid laners in the game right now.
Yeah, but at the same time, it's like, you know, you farm with Soraka's Q and it's impossible to miss, and you get to you get to hit 5 minions. We actually see Udipride again going very hard in this top lane, trying to punish Silverspoon. He's got the 2-0 advantage. He's going to continue to push this lane, and really, there's not a lot Silverspoon can do about it right now.
Yeah, I agree with you with the mid lane that, you know, she doesn't miss with her Q, but you have to realize that she needs to get so close to the minions to actually hit all her Qs. And if you're a Ziggs and if you play Ziggs well, you can actually put her down so quickly. But apparently it looks like Amity is actually really scared of the Soraka. He doesn't dare to move too far into lane. He has been pressured the entire game, and it's just very surprising to see Soraka just completely outplaying Ziggs at this point in time.
Yeah, and so we actually we just saw Sulfa there, who's looking up to maybe set up another lane gank in the bot lane. Decided my red buff's coming up. I should probably go get that if I want to gank. So once that's completed, look for him to maybe come back down into this bottom lane, as both Hofu and Bonzen are just trying to keep that CS score as close as they can, and it's 112 right now in the top lane. It's Udipride just completely ignoring Silverspoon, going straight onto that turret. The shield's going to allow him to not take a whole lot of damage, but the ultimate coming out of Amity, will they have enough damage? The Ignite coming out. Soraka's heal is available. Again, it could save him. Ultimate coming up from Udipride. There's the heal. Silverspoon's going to take a lot of damage from that ultimate as we actually get taken down into the bot lane. In the top lane, however, Amity's still here. Silverspoon's still here. Udipride may be looking for something. Both of them are actually going to maybe walk away from this as it's a double gank in the bot lane. Masteror is here. He's going to try and pick up Rail. The heal's coming out. Going to keep Rail alive. It will be enough. The ultimate now coming out of Vida. Room Prison. Astor is definitely going to go down. Hopefully is going to help pick that kill up. Now it's a 2. No, it's not a kill. Aatrox, you and your passive. Fool me. And boy, I feel bad, but so...
The only one who go down from that long extended engagement was actually Rio Silva. Was the only one person going down. Udipride survived that because he had this beautiful flash that came out that actually he avoided Ziggs' skill shots. Such a beautiful flash coming up from him as well.
Alright, and that's going to be the first dragon of the game going over to Detonation FM. So far, I like what I'm seeing out of Detonation FM. The game's pretty close, though, all things considered. All right, as we take a look around the map, the other thing you really have to look at here, look at that top lane CS score. Udipride almost double Silverspoon's CS in that top lane just because he's been able to put so much pressure, so much harass onto Silverspoon every time he tries to go and get a minion. You look at their builds, and Riven just does so much more damage. Sulfa taking out that Wraith. It'll be interesting to see if Sulfa's going to maybe make his way up into that top lane to help out. But at what point does that top lane just become a lost cause?
Yeah, that's true. And, you know, I think there's very good communications going between Udipride on Riven and Sarah's on Soraka, because every time her ultimate is up, Udipride is looking for a kill onto Silverspoon.
Alright, and that Feral Flare now, he's going to pick up stack number 22. So 3 more monsters, and Astorori is going to have that Feral Flare ready to go, and that's going to help Aatrox start to ramp up a lot. However, currently sitting at 0-0-0, not a whole lot going on. And here's Udipride. That's going to allow him to take the turret, but this time they're ready for it. Sulfa's there. The Ignite, however, is going to go down to Silverspoon. He lives.
One more tick and he would have gone down, but Jack survives. And to add on that, his flash and teleport is up, so they will be looking to contest for something very, very soon. Although Dragon has been taken down just now, right before then.
Alright, Exhaust being used in the bot lane is actually going to force Real to use his ultimate for a disengage. There's the heal coming out, so it's not going to be a lot. But you just talked about that teleport. Here's Silverspoon. They're going to pick up one. Try and look for another. Rio Silva should be able to walk away from this one and be okay. But a nice use of that teleport with Sulfa in the top lane. Silverspoon could afford to get away. And that kill is going to go over. Did you see actually who picked it up? I wasn't super paying attention. I think it was Silverspoon. I could be wrong.
I'm trying to find Nightbot as a moderator, but I don't know where he is.
Oh yeah, I was actually going to talk to you about that today, and we can maybe talk to you about that after the stream, because
I'm just
I don't know where he went.
Yeah, I'm just gonna go.
I think he ran away.
Yeah, I'm just gonna go log in and get him onto the mod real quick.
All right. So you go do that, and we're going to continue this game. The kills now have actually swung in favor of Crucial Moment with that top lane and bot lane swing of kills there. Seros' ultimate not being enough. Now Udiproid maybe looking to make something happen. He's waiting here in the mid lane, hanging out in the jungle. There's actually really good ward coverage all over this jungle, though, by both teams. So if he goes any farther, he will be spotted out. The question is, does he have the ability to dive onto Amity right now with Seros' help? Aurora actually is going to be coming here as well, so this might be trouble for Ziggs. He's going to be dive that flash, not doing a whole lot. Good tower management. Seros with the extra armor from the heals, not taking a whole lot of damage from that tower. That's going to be the mid tower, really, really crucial. It will be very crucial for Crucial Moment to lose it as well, as it's now a 4-man push, looking to maybe do something in this mid lane.
Corey puns. But yeah, I'm really excited because you look at the two lineups and you automatically think that CM would come out on top based on just how the champions are built. But you can already tell they are getting outplayed, outclassed by DTFM, especially in the mid lane and the top lane.
Well,
I cannot get Nightbot. This is so frustrating.
That dive in the mid lane was just, I think, a really good example of how Detonation has probably been playing together a bit longer. That communication is there a little bit better. They had 4 members of the team kind of collapsing, ready for that to go. Meanwhile, take a look at that bot lane. Solfa, again, was making his way down there, but once again, it's the same problem as red buff has come up. So pick up that red buff, makes ganking a little bit easier as well, as we now might actually see a 2-person movement down in the bot lane because Amity and his Ziggs headed down here as well. Might actually turn around. Look at the wards for both teams. There are blue wards all over that bottom jungle. Astaore and Udiproid as well, maybe making their way into this bot lane. So if they try to make something happen, the ultimate coming out, it will land on a Bonza, and the question is, do they continue going? Vi's can actually run away, and probably wisely, as it would have been a 3v4 situation as they do back out. Both Udiproid and Astaore trying not to show their hands. There are wards in the bush, so if they come any farther forward, they will be spotted, but it looks like Aatrox will be backing. Again, I'm going to just do Aatrox Watch 2014. You take a look at his Feral Flare. I don't know if it's, but so going to be able to do a bit of extra damage with that. Again, the farm coming pretty well. You talk about using that Wriggles and become kind of a jungle farmer. Both Vi and Aatrox sitting at 83 farm right now. And that's the bottom turret going down. Udiproid here. If CM knows what's best for them, they will back off of this turret. But we'll see.
Oh my god, I'm just making a mess of everything. I cannot get Nightbot. I'm sorry. I'm very frustrated in the fact that I cannot get Nightbot on. But the game is still going on, so looks like it's a 4-3 at the moment, and already 20 minutes in the game, there is a 4,000, I want to say 4,000. Yes, I think my math is good right here.
Yeah, hey, you did the math right for once.
I did not mess it up for once. Yes, it's a 4,000 goal lead for DTFM.
And look at Udiproid here, just kind of baiting it out, sitting in the river, saying, hey, come on, let's fight. He's already got his last Whisper completed, a Brutalizer, a BF Sword as well, as all members of Detonation FM here are going to make their way down to try and pick up the second dragon of the game. Remember, the first dragon did go to Detonation FM as well. Jax should have his teleport. No, it's not actually up. So all that CM can really do here is stand and watch, as that will be another dragon in favor of Detonation FM. Udiproid now trying to maybe go find Amity, walking all through this jungle. And yeah, so far, just the objective control, the movement out of Detonation FM has been very, very good all over the map. 3 turrets now to 0, 2 dragons to 0, and yeah, that was simply a result. They knew Silverspoon didn't have his teleport. Teleport just coming off the cooldown now. He will try and do as much damage as he can to that top tower, and it will go down because it's just Soraka. The question is now, can Silverspoon beat Soraka? It's very, very close. A lot of damage coming out, but those stars are continuing to fall. Somebody called Chicken Little because I don't know who's going to come out on top. Silverspoon, you have to be very careful. The heals continuing to come out. Silverspoon, 1 or 2 more starfalls, and he will drop.
Yes. Silverspoon is going to go down 1v1, and the Jack loses to a Soraka. This is a first, ladies and gentlemen. Never seen that 1v1 before, and Jax is going down. But Real Silver goes down. It is a 3v2 right there. A flash coming out from Bonzin.
And a really
Nami.
good flash out of Real, actually catching with the slow before Bonzin flashed. So the auto attack came off, he flashed, was still slowed, so the flash came out from Real to flash and get even more slow as they're not done. A lot of damage coming out of Astaroria here as well. He's going to have to back away, and that should be the bottom lane turret now for CM. Oh, Silver Spoon, it's just not your day today, is it, sir?
It is not his day. He has not had a good game at all. He lost really hard to Riven at the top lane. 1-3-1, 3-1-0. He's losing in CS as well. We're not looking to see a late game Jax where he just split pushes and be the monster that we know Jax can be. And if you're losing a 1v1 to a Soraka, that is not a good thing at all. That is a sign to tell you that there is something going on there. You're not doing right. You're not doing something right, because Jax should not be losing 1v1 to a Soraka anytime.
And there's the Mega Inferno Bomb. Just doing a quick check on Baron to make sure he's still there, and it is in fact up. Detonation FM not having tried that quite just yet. But yeah, you talk about Silver Spoon. It's 23 minutes into the game, and he still only has 2 pieces of his Triforce.
And ladies and gentlemen, I have Nightbot on. Yes, I've done it. Okay. Yeah, I think it's on right now. I'm really excited. Okay, alright.
And this is going to be Silver Spoon. Sorry, as we talk about... Oh, a nice flash is actually going to... I don't know if the flash avoided the Riven ultimate, but in any case, the Riven ultimate not coming down. Silver Spoon's going to be able to walk away from that one with his life. But we are not done in that top lane, as I can't actually move the camera right now.
Yeah, Uniproid actually is such a good Riven player. I don't know why people actually never ban out Riven when they play against GTFM, because if Uniproid gets Riven, most of the time he will actually stomp the lane. You can see already nobody can 1v1 Riven at this point in time right now. Jax has to flash away, has to get back to base so quickly. He can't even stay in lane for a long time now, so he's back behind in terms of CS, in terms of just lane presence, and he's just not having a good game.
So here he is coming down into the bot lane. You talk about how this is how he gets back into the game. Will he have enough damage? They're going to maybe try and follow this up. No. Silver Spoon will back away. Not a bad idea. Saros and Asteroid top probably would have been there fairly quickly, but that's really not what, you know, Silver Spoon wanted. He was trying to make something happen. Unfortunately, it did not go his way.
Yeah, I think the silver lining for CM right now is that Grace and Vi is doing pretty well. Grace is on a CS advantage compared to a Kaylin, which is a good feat by itself, and he's 3-0-1 right now. He has a finished Static Shift and a Bloodthirster, so he's up in terms of items, in terms of kills, and in terms of CS, so that's a good saving grace point for CM. But at the same time, Ziggs, Amity is just not doing well this game at all. 0-1-1, 182 CS to 254. He is not having a good game. As a Ziggs, you don't want to be ever losing in terms of CS. You can never be losing CS as a Ziggs. And so I think just early game and mid game, the lanes have been pushed back, have been pressured so much, and by just saying that, Uniproid just took down his second turret of the game.
And he's not done yet. He looks to be putting a bit of pressure on a Silver Spoon Sulfus here, but he's at half health as well because Aatrox in the area. Amity going over to maybe try and help them out as it now all comes to bear. The question is, will they engage here? I don't know if it's the best idea, but it will actually be a slight jump in there from Silver Spoon, but Sulfa's not there, so you have no backup, Jax, because Sulfa's gone to help the mid lane turret. Doesn't really matter because that mid lane turret falls. The Aqua Prison's not going to land, but Sarah's going to take a lot of damage here. Ultimate coming out, and it might be enough. Oh no, the Mega Bomb will do it. I was a little bit unsure because that's a very, very, maybe tanky is not the right word, but there's a lot of health on that Soraka. But now Detonation FM looking to maybe make it turn around in the mid lane. Here comes Uniproid. Amity's going to get away. No, I say that, and there comes the Q from Rio Silva. He's going to pick up the kill on the Ziggs. Uniproid, Asteroid, 3 members of Detonation FM. They're all here, and they've actually just spotted out Nami via wards in the jungle. Now she is in a world of trouble. She's actually going to have to run up through the lane, maybe hide in that bush and recall. Will Uniproid go and find her? He's gonna get
Maybe I will be catched. And a good flash coming from Nami just to get away from Riven right there.
Ooh, it was a nice Aqua Prison and a flash to get out of that sticky situation.
A very ballsy play from Silver Spoon right there. But while that's all going on, Ribbon was just playing Troll, and DETFM is going to pick up their third dragon of the game. All dragons have been picked up by DETFM this entire game, which is why you see such a big gold advantage coming up for them as well. So it is at a 7,000 goal lead. My math is on point today.
You are doing real well. I'm very impressed.
My mom would be so proud.
But yeah, again, if you just take a look at all of the item builds and all of the CS across the board, again, it's that thing that sticks out. It's just there's so much more farm right now on Soraka. And Soraka has that Rylai's, has the Rod of the Ages. So not only does she have a huge pool of health to call upon, her stars are also going to slow you down. So she's not somebody you want to meet.
Yeah, and she has a Megatron cloak too, just to have a little bit of that, you know, MR, sustain herself a little bit more in lane if the 6 bombs do come out and hit her hard. But as it looks of right now, it just doesn't look like the 6 bombs are doing anything to her. You know, as much sustain as she has already, she can heal herself up anytime she wants. And if she's going AP as she is right now, so, you know, as a Soraka, you can stay in lane for as long as you want.
Yeah, you talked about that with she's got the Negatron cloak and the blasting line. It looks like she'll probably build that into an Abyssal Scepter, which is just gonna hurt even more as you take away magic resist, continue the falling stars, and you got the extra MR, you get the armor from your heals. So the HP is a really, really good thing to have, as the CM blue buff now is gonna go over to Saros, allow her to continue to spam those heals. And right now it's just kind of a slow